BODDAMN, and today I'm going to talk about one real big mistake that skinny guys make when they're trying to build muscle. What's going on, guys? Chris with the BODDAMN channel. This channel is all about food, fitness, and how to live an active, healthy lifestyle. On this topic, on this video, we're going to be talking about a really big mistake that skinny guys make when they're trying to build muscle. As we know, there are three different types of bodies out there. Typically, there's an ectomorph, there's a mesomorph, and then there's an endomorph. And if you're watching this video, you're likely an ectomorph. You are a skinny person that is looking to build size, right, in the right kind of ways. But it's getting tough. You know, with each type of body type, there's always like a good thing, right? Everyone thinks like, oh, it's just the middle person has all the stuff and all the good luck, but a lot of times, sometimes the middle person came from one of the other two sides, right? I used to be a skinny guy too, and I'll promise you that when I go back to my parents' house in California, I will locate some skinny pictures for you and show you guys on my Instagram, or maybe I'll do another video like this. But it all changed for me over one summer. In that summer, I really learned this one tip, and I want to share it with you guys out there. Now, you probably hear this a lot, but I gotta tell you, it always comes down to execution. How many times out there have we heard that exercise is good for you and exercise is the way to, you know, get leaner and drop fat and all that kind of stuff? Everyone knows it, right? But executing is how it's done. But as I gave you this one tip, if you sit back there and you can maybe roll your eyes like, oh, I've heard this before, you know, you have to execute on this kind of stuff in order to get where you want to go. If you are a skinny guy out there and you want to get buff, you want to get a summer body, you want to gain that confidence, you want to attract the opposite sex, maybe the same sex, you know, we live in a great world, you got to make moves, you got to do things. But it comes down to the execution, guys. If I can actually just impact you guys on a very, very basic level, it comes down to how you do it and how passionate you are about achieving your goals. All right, so the number one tip is you're not eating enough, okay? That is just pretty much it. I mean, anybody's gonna tell you you're not eating enough. You have to be in a caloric surplus, and you must be eating on a regular kind of time frame. When I was an ectomorph, it was pretty much in like the high school, middle school days, but I graduated into mesomorph category like right around one summer, okay? And that summer was between my high school years and my college years. I went to a provisional program here in Austin, Texas, which is like, you're not quite accepted into the college, but they give you kind of like a pass, like here, prove yourself over these 3 months and we'll let you in, because my grades weren't that great in high school. So of course I go into college or semi-college, I get put into a dorm, and I get this really important thing called a meal card. Now, if you're watching this and you have already graduated college and all that kind of stuff, or you're in college, you might know what I'm talking about. It's a little card, kind of looks like a little swipe thing, and it has a little ATM thing on the back, and you basically just kind of run it through this thing right before you get to the cafeteria, and the whole thing is open to you. This is really important in the story of how I got big versus skinny, because I came from a family that ate a lot of just, I don't know how to say it, but like wholesome food, but not super high calorie or anything like that. Like I ate well in high school, but I didn't eat enough. That's the thing. I was eating regularly, but I didn't eat caloric dense foods. Like I wasn't educated in that kind of way, but I realized in that provisional program over that summertime where my mistake was. And truthfully, it wasn't that I wasn't eating enough, it's just I wasn't eating the right foods. Calorie dense foods are what you want to find. Like I was eating over that summer a lot of pastas, a bunch of, you know, chicken breast and fried chicken breast, and sometimes hamburgers here and there, fries. I was just taking in as many calories as possible. I checked into that dorm around, I think it was May 28th or something like that, at 163 pounds. And when my parents visited me in the middle part of that summer, I was 186 already. Now I believe that 186 came because a couple things went into play. I want to give you some good tips. So now we know that mistake number one is you're probably not eating enough, or you're not eating enough caloric dense foods. But there was something else that I did as well. So I want to give you some tips here so you can take home and you can start executing on these things and get your goals. Because the worst thing that could happen is that you start, you know, on one end of the spectrum and then you end up on the completely opposite end of the spectrum when you wanted to land in the middle. So we got to make sure that doesn't happen. So how did I do it in such a short period of time? What did I do right? Number one, I ate caloric dense foods. So think foods in high calories. Should you be thinking at this point, like, do I need to get organic or GMO friendly kind of stuff? Like this point, you probably don't want to be concerned with that much stuff at all. You want to be concerned with, you know, getting in a bunch of calories, eating on a regular basis. That's really important, okay? You can fine-tune your stuff later when you actually achieve, should I say, kind of like the mass of where you want to start from, and you want to kind of whittle it down and chisel away and get your cuts the way you want them. That's the time for those kind of decisions. But I think if you are an ectomorph and you're struggling being a skinny guy, it's important to just start eating and eating enough, okay? Eating as much as you can. Then, number 2, you gotta focus on key lifts. These key lifts are going to really build the foundation of a good, big body, right? They won't provide like that whole chiseling effect and that ripped effect, but they will provide the mass and the foundation of what you're trying to build. Now, if you stay pretty lean in the entire process of gaining this weight, kudos to you, but a majority of people out there are gonna probably, you know, you're an ectomorph and you're maybe around your 10% or less body fat, you might end up at 20, okay? You might end up with more body fat, but a good big frame. And that's kind of like where I ended up when my parents visited me at the middle part of that summer. I ended up being, I mean, if you saw the picture, you'd just be like, holy crap, like it was like skinny little BODDAMN dude, all the way to like, holy, like towering over and wider than whole family dude, right? And the reason why I knew I got so big is because I had to see pictures and I realized like, wow, you know, you see yourself in the mirror every day and you don't make the connection, but when you see a picture before you went in versus like midpoint, you start to realize like, wow, I've changed a lot, right? And now I'm sitting at a comfortable 193. Sometimes I go from 10 to 13% body fat and I feel great, I feel good, but I had to do the proper amount of execution to get there. So let's get down to these key lifts. What are they and what do you need to be doing? Number 1 key lift is bench press. Number 2, bent over barbell row. Number 3, overhead press. Number 4, the squat. Number 5, the deadlift. So find someone around your town that can kind of show you the correct form in real time. Or you can kind of look at some of my other videos in the past and you might be able to find a bench press or a deadlift or a squat video or something like that and mimic my same form. Those are very, very important key lifts to do. It's also really fun if you do it with friends, get a little friendly competition going on. That always helps you get goals faster if you have friends that are in the same precarious situation as you are and you're all trying to exit that ectomorph stage together. There's got to be a crew of ectomorphs out there, right, that just hang out together in the gym and they get big together. I know it exists. In fact, I think I see it on Instagram like all the time. Friends will help you get where you need to go. That's just what happened to me. I made friends at that dorm and it just so happened that they were like gym people. I actually didn't touch a true bench press ever in life until that summer, like an actual bench press, like in the bench, like learning the form and everything. Like I did not learn that until that one summer. I'm trying to like save you guys some time. Maybe if you're watching this and you haven't been in college yet, maybe you're in high school and you're struggling, you know, with your weight and everything like that, and you want to gain more and get muscle and all that, you know, start early, guys, start early. Okay, so we're still talking about the key lifts. One of the things you gotta do is you gotta get kind of analytical with this. You gotta focus on getting stronger. If that means you're putting it in a phone, in like a little, you know, document or whatever, or you're actually writing it in a little journal or whatever, you gotta focus on these key lifts and getting stronger, okay? So you're gonna have to adopt certain strength protocols, such as decreasing pyramid, increasing pyramid, 5x5s, all that kind of stuff. You're gonna have to find a good strength protocol for you. 5x5 is a pretty good one, but if you really want to like challenge yourself, I love descending pyramid a lot. That's where you actually warm up appropriately and then you involve what I call a bridge set, and then you start with like 3 reps, and then you go to 5, then 6, then 8, and sometimes maybe 10, and you kind of go up that way. I like those a lot because you get the really big, heavy, crazy thing out of the way first when you're strongest, but it's just a suggestion, okay? I want you guys to succeed, so I'm just kind of just dishing out exactly how I did it, and that way you guys can take it, digest it, and go, like how can I implement this into my life right now? Number 3 tip that I want to give you before this video is done is you got to get amazing sleep too. Aim for sleep where you're dreaming, okay? Dream sleep is the best sleep of all sleep. That's the sleep where you're recuperating. Assuming that you're doing these lifts properly, right? And assuming that you're getting stronger over a period of time, that sleep is absolutely crucial to gaining weight and getting size. And when you're on a caloric surplus, man, you can get strong so fast, especially on these key lifts, because your body has the calories it needs, and it's just pulling energy from all your storage. I mean, it's really, really a good time to lift heavy. I mean, your joints feel good, nice and cushiony, like it just is a good time to get strong and to get bulky, is when you are on a caloric surplus. But sleep is so important. Sleep is really it. Like if you're getting 5 hours of sleep or 6 hours of sleep a night, that's not gonna cut it. You're gonna need to get 8, 10, you know, you're young, or maybe you're not young, but you're still trying to exit the ectomorph thing and you're trying to get to the next stage. You gotta get amazing sleep, okay? Amazing sleep is everything. Eating a caloric surplus, do amazing key lifts, track all your progress, get that amazing sleep. All right, so that's the topic of the day today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any remarks or questions or comments or anything like that, please put it down below. I would love to read these comments and everything while this channel is still in its infancy. But take this advice and start going with it and execute on that. Key lifts, all right? Caloric surplus, get stronger, track your progress, and I think you'll be good to go, all right? Just go out there and eat and lift, do it. I'll see you on the next BODDAMN video. Take it easy. Goodbye.